Well, good morning, everyone. Firstly, thank you all for coming along and attending, and we encourage you to ask questions in the question and answer section, and we'll try and get to them as we go through the session. The sessions are recorded, so if you don't want your name to be shared, just sign yourself in as anonymously, and if you have any sound problems, just jump out and then jump back in as well as we go. So without further ado, we're going to start recording, and this will be available to be viewed later on the Microsoft channel that we'll send through. And let's start our session. So first of all, I would like to begin by acknowledging the Complementary People who are the traditional custodians of the land of which I'm on today. So I pay my respects to the elders past and present, and I extend that respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. So my name is Peter Jorgensen, and I'm the Peter 12 Digital Learning Coordinator at Hillcrest Christian College, which is on the Gold Coast, just inland from the Burleigh Headlands. So I'm one of the MIE Fellows for Australia, and I've been an MIE expert for the last 5 years. If you want to follow me on Twitter, hashtag or at HillcrestICT, and you can follow me along on there. So today we're going to have a look at authentic assessment, and the why do we do it is such a big important part. So we'll have a look at that first, and then we'll have a quick squeeze as to how to make our own form, and then how can we integrate those forms into other Office 365 products. At any point in time, if you have a question, pop it into the chat, and Stephen and I will try and answer them as we go through. So why do we have to assess? Now, as teachers, we're always assessing our students. And one of the things that we do at Hillcrest is we ask the 5 whys. So we'll start with there. There's a little bit of a delay, it looks like on the screen, but that's okay. So the first thing is, why do we assess? It's for accountability purposes. So that's the main thing. We have to show accountability in our teaching, and that's the main why. But if we ask again, why is it that we have to do that? Well, we have to do that for evidence. And why do we have to gather evidence of our students? It's to assist the students, essentially, at the end of the day. And why do we have to assist the students? We want to help them improve and grow. And why do we want to help them improve and grow? Well, it's because we want them to be the best that they can be. So those are all the whys as to why we want authentic assessment, not just doing it for assessment purposes, but to actually doing it for authentic reasons. So as I said, there is my Twitter handle. If you want to tweet away, go for it. And then we're going to start taking a look at how to make our own form. All right. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, but there's a bit of a delay. All right, let's go and have a quick little look.
Hey, Peter, probably a good idea to just close down the browser, because the attendees are seeing this about 20 seconds after you've spoken.
Okay, all right, I shall go and do that. Bear with me. All right, we shall make a start again. Here we go.
Not hearing any sound, Peter.
Sorry, folks. We'll get there.
No worries.
All right, let's try this again, shall we?
In some of the other teams. If someone has shared a form with you, it will be in the shared with me pile, and you can go and get those checked out as well. So when you come in here, you can make a new form, or you have what's called a new quiz. The difference between the two is that with the quiz, you can earn points. So we're going to go and get started on this one today. And I'm just going to write a quick, simple check-in as my title. You can add a description, and you can also add a picture as well. So I'm going to go and add a new. So I might want to choose my multiple choice here, question, and then let's get started. All right, so which of these words is a noun? So we've been doing some simple grammar, so let's have a look. So let's type in lettuce, spread, let's type in save, and let's type in, let's go running. We'll just do that simple. So the one that is the noun, which is lettuce, you can put the tick on to show that that's the correct answer. You can also give feedback. Well done. You got the correct answer. Keep going to the next question. All right, if you don't like that option, you can go and delete it and go get rid of that and add another option. So if you wanted to add the word butter, now with butter, that could also be a correct answer. So therefore you might have multiple correct answers. So now you have two words that are nouns. Which of these words are, so I'll change that, nouns. So that way hopefully they will, and if I start to put in 2 points, children might find that they need to find two of them. And if I say required, then it's something that they have to do. So if they haven't got that right, try again. Remember, nouns are naming words. All right, nice and simple in here. So I'm going to do add a new, and this time I'll drop it down to, I'll drop it to the choice. I'll keep it the choice, but I will say which one of these is a noun. So what I want to do, I'll say phone, I'll say read, I will read, actually I'll change that one to pink, read, book, and spoon. Spooning, that way it's a verb. Which one of these is a noun? Sorry, one of these is a noun. All right, and I want to say that the correct word here is book, so the other words are incorrect. But what I can do up here is I can actually say, go down to the three little dots and add branching. Now, when I add branching, that if they get this one right, so if they get this one right, I want them to go to the next. If they choose, here it is here, if they get this one right, I want them to go to the end of the form. But if they get it wrong, I want them to keep trying again. So if I add a third one in here, which one of these is a noun? And I'll give these children who needed a little bit more extra another go to find the noun. So I might do pig, I might do eating, flying, and I might do brown. So the correct answer here is pig. So if they got that correct, they can skip over question 3 and they can go to the end. But if they didn't get that correct, I want them to have another go at doing that question. So just to make sure that I'm getting all the feedback and the authentic assessment out of this item. So let's go and have a look at the other assessment choices. You can also go next. What do you like to put on your sandwiches? And the children can add the answer. You can go in and add things that children would typically add, cheese and ham and peanut butter. But I tend to find that our students, this isn't necessarily a spelling test, although we want them to have accurate spelling, but I will tend to find that I am mostly when I put in the correct spelling, the children have so many different alternatives, so I kind of leave that blank and I'll go and mark it later at the end of the test, and that way I can just make sure that I'm marking it correctly. Let's go and have another look. The next one is a rating. So how would you rate Vegemite sandwich? And you can see that you can give it 5 stars or out of 10 stars or 9 stars, however many you want. Let's do 10. You can do a number or you can do star. I like to do stars as well. So that's the rating one. You can also put in the date, and we're going to skip on that one. I also like to do a ranking one. So put these steps in order to make a Vegemite sandwich. Okay, so then we'll do place a plate on the table. Place 2 slices of bread on the plate. Use a butter knife. Use a knife to place butter on the bread. Use a knife to place Vegemite on the bread. Place the 2 pieces of bread together in a stack. Slice in half and eat your yummy Vegemite sandwich. So here I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I might like to give it 7 points. And when the students see it, they can actually go and arrange them in order. But when you share it with the quiz, it will appear in random order. So another type of question that you can have is a file upload. So the students can actually upload some files to here. Upload a picture of your sandwich you made for lunch today, and they can upload it. You can also change the file limit and the size limit and the file numbers, so that's always a really good option as well. So we use that one for uploading videos at our school as well, so we actually use that option for quite a lot of things. You can also use Net Promoter Scores or Like It. But now that I've finished some English, I'm going to jump into a different section. So this might be a maths review section. And I want to just ask them some simple questions. So let's have a look. So what number is odd? And let's just put in a few different numbers. 8. 130 and 144. So So of course the answer here is 103. And again, if I wanted to, I can go and put in some branching. So if they didn't get that right, I can ask them another simpler question. Or if they got it right, I can go and ask them an even harder question to see where they're up to. So there's just a few different options down here. So here you've got shuffle options, which is great. So you can go and choose to have them shuffled for each child. And here you can also do the drop down as well. So instead of actually having a multiple choice like you had up here, you can actually go to, it won't let me do it. I'll just do these ones quickly. Right, that, and this one, this is how you would shuffle them around, etc. Upload a picture. I'll just do a simple quick upload. Done. And while that's spinning, now because I've put all the required that the students actually have to make sure that they fill this form in, and they have to do each question. So that's really helpful. Now also Forms is now linked to Immersive Reader, so if the students get stuck, they can actually have the Immersive Reader read the questions for them, which is really, really helpful. We will do that another day. Okay, so down here, which number is odd? And I might just put this one on unrequired for all of us. So you can actually see that there's the drop down menu type question. That's what it would look like there. Now, as I said, we can jump into preview to actually see it. If you want to switch questions around, you can go up here and move the questions up or move the questions down. If you want to copy the question, you can copy the question, and if you want to delete it, you can also delete it. In here as well, you also have themes, so you can choose a color theme. They do have illustrations, but you can also go in and customize your own theme. So if I say sandwich, let's go and have a look. Looks like a nice yummy sandwich there, and I will go and add that. If it won't work, it won't work, but it will come up with a little message to say that it won't work. But it looks like this one is working. So you can definitely make it your own. Okay. Something else to note, in the settings, you can also go in here and you can show the results automatically. Now the kids like to see their results. However, as I mentioned, that question that they had to go and put their answer in for, their long choice or their description, because I have to mark that later, a lot of the children get quite anxious when they see their score is a lot lower. And I have to say, don't forget, I've had to mark that a little bit later on. So I tend to turn that off, and they can see it after I've marked that question, which is really quick and easy to split over and make it viewable for all of them. Now, at the moment, I'm sharing this with anyone with the link can respond. Now, if I was to send that outside of my organisation, I need to possibly make sure that I have the first question as their name. But because I've chosen it to be people only in my organisation, so students with the domain from Hillcrest, that it already records their name, and you can also tick whether or not you want them to have one response per person. So if you were doing a pre-test, you can then also tick this off and do the same test at the end of the week and see how many of them have improved over that time. Options for responses, you can accept responses, start date, end dates, shuffle the questions, show the progress, and you can also do thank you messages and email notifications. So the settings also have quite a few interesting things in there for you. In print form, you can also go in and print it as a PDF, and so that if your students don't have the internet, they can also just do the printed version of the form. All right, so we'll go back, and one of the other questions that you can do with your maths is down here. You can also do you can do the like it kind of table. So, you know, what's your opinion of this, or, you know, up to those questions. But I believe you can also do, and maybe I'll go in and do text. In here, you can go and add maths as well. So you can go and add an equation, and you've got your mathematical calculator to go and write your math sums. So that is a simple go-to for how to set up a form. If you want to, in the share, so you get 3 options to share the form. So as I mentioned, at the moment, this is set up so only people in my organisation can respond. If I was to make a form and share it with parents, I would do the first one. Anyone with the link can respond. And I can also just email that or copy the link, and I can copy it and put it in an email that I would send home through our admin system. Now, this one here is a good one if you're sharing a form. So say you teach English to your kids and another Year 4 teacher teaches English to their kids, and they would want the duplicate form link so that they can share the same form to their kids, but so that the data for their class isn't muddled up with yours. You want to get them to do a duplicate. And down here as well, if you wanted to collaborate with another teacher on designing the form, this is where you would get that link to actually share. So that is simple how to do a quick little form.
Excellent. So are there any questions about forms or how they're used?
Hi, Peter. I've been answering a few questions as we go along, but there's nothing outstanding at the moment. That's a good overview, I think.
Fantastic. Shall we keep going or wait for the video to catch up?
No, I think the video's fine. It looks good to me.
Great. Well, let's keep going. So now we're going to go and have a look at how forms can be integrated into all the other Microsoft 365 products. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Forms and OneNote.
All right, so here I am in my OneNote, and I want to add a form into my OneNote. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab and then slide all the way along till you get to Forms. Now, if I've already made a pre-existing form, I can just simply go down and find a pre-existing form and put in. However, even in here, I can go and make a brand new form. So let me go New Form. And I'm going to go over here to Edit. Now, down over here, it's blinking at me on the Microsoft Edge website, and I can go and add and edit it in here. Entry form for, and I'll just put the 7th of the 10th, 2020. So here's my entry tickets. You can put in first name. I'll just do email address, and then I should be able to work out which children it is from that one. And then I'm going to do choice. So the first one being what is one of the key features of good design. So we've talked about scalability. We've talked about consistency. So I'm going to jumble it up a little bit here. We won't say, I'll put in regularity. It's probably not even a word, but we'll just go with it for today. Make it stand out, which is not something that we talked about. And we'll also put in, let's put in something else. Let's put in, is it on point? And no, that is not something that we talked about. So I'll put in the required, and the correct answer would have been the first one. So down here, I can go and put in my branching, but because it's just a simple form today, I can do this. Actually, I'm going to swap it onto a text. What is an app that has a good icon design, or maybe I'll change it, name an app that has good icon design and explain why you think it is good. It's going to be a bit of a long answer, and I just want to get their expressions on where it is that we're traveling. So I might do a theme, or looks like there's some cute themes there. I like this one. Let's go with that one for now. So that is the one that I'm working on in my, here it is here, entry ticket. And if I want to insert that, then I can go and insert that straight away into my OneNote, which is really helpful. So I can put an embedded form in there, or I can instantly make my own. Now, all those maths teachers out there, our maths department saw this and they were so excited. So on the Draw tab, you have got the maths option over here. And we love this one. So we love to do 214 plus 316. I'll take away that bracket. There we go. So here we go. And I'm going to lasso my question there. I should get my, there it is. And I'm going to lasso it. And then I can click my maths, select an action, and evaluate that. So the answer is 530. And then this is what our kids, we can show the steps, the solution steps, but our maths teachers thought this was the most amazing thing. So when you go generate a practice quiz inside OneNote, I'm going to have 5 questions that are similar questions to this sort of question and generate the quiz. And this will make a form for you based upon the question that you've already put in. So here it is here. It's just asking, getting them to solve those simple sums. This might be the exit ticket for today's lesson. And again, this is all linked up straight away to your form. So let me go back to my forms here. And from here, here's my practice maths quiz. And they were the questions, and it's already predetermined all the answers for me. And when I get my responses back straight away, I can see their scores and I can get all the pie graphs and data coming in from Excel as well. So that's a really, really nifty tool that our maths teachers just love in OneNote and using the power of forms.
All right, how are we going for questions? Are there any about OneNote and forms?
You explained it so well. Everyone's just watching along, I think.
Perfect. All right, let's keep going then. Let's go and have a look at how forms can be integrated with Teams.
So let's have a look in Teams. So here's one of my teams that I'm in. So I'm just going to jump into this team, and you can use forms in a variety of ways in here. So to start with, I'm just going to go and put it in my conversation. Now down here, I've actually added forms down here, which was just a simple app that I've installed from here, and I type in form, and there it is. And I can go open. So from there, I can then go and put it inside my Teams and just inside my random chat channels. So I'll go to forms here. And you can also do this at the middle of a call as well on Teams. So I like to go, would you rather? And I'll put in some options. Would you rather spend all winter in snow, or would you rather spend all summer in a desert? So that's my answers, that's my choices, and then from that we can use and have a great classroom conversation. So the kids can either choose their option and go send. Now where does this go? This is a quick little form that I did, a quick little survey. And if I jump online to my forms again, and it will end up being in here, my would you rathers, and I can actually see from in here all of my responses. So would you prefer, and we just did a quick little fruit one, and then we had a really good discussion which led into persuasive discussions and persuasive writing, and they had to persuade us why their fruit was better than the other fruit that they had. So it ended up being a really good way to start a conversation, but you can use it for lots of different things. As I said, you can come in here for group forms and you can find lots of forms for your groups in here. So it's really helpful that they're also in there. So once the kids start responding, you will be able to see some of their responses come through. Let me jump into my year 4 one. And would you rather, and then from these polls you can see the marks coming in. So these kids had to do come up with a product and present that to everyone, and then they had to choose which one they thought was the best one. But it was really good for a persuasive writing task that they had to stimulate the conversation from that form. So that's just one way that you can start using forms in Teams. The other one is through your assignments tab at the top here. And in the assignments tab, you can go and get started. I'll say get started, and I'll go create, and you can add an assignment, or you can add a quiz, or from an existing quiz. So I'm just going to do a quiz, and I can either choose one of the new quizzes that I've done, or I can choose the check-in that I made earlier today, or my new quiz. So I'll just do that check-in there and put that in there. So now that it's all linked up, I can get my kids to answer the quizzes. I can save it, and it will be posted in this channel. And then I can get my results the same way that I would go and get all my results for all my other forms, is through my forms, and I can collect all those results and then download all of their results in their Excel spreadsheet. So in your forms, when they do start to come through, I'll try and find one by... Try and find this one. Would you rather be sticky or itchy? And then, as I said, you can get all of the pie graphs and charts and data, but you can also pull down your data through Excel and also keep a record of it, or combine it with your other Excel documents that you
keep all your data in. So that's how you can use forms with Teams. How are we going for questions, Stephen?
Yeah, good. I'm just working through them. There's some interesting questions that I'm posting. Someone's just said, is there a way of sorting your forms? That's the thing that I find a little bit tricky. You can't really answer them.
I hope user voice can have a big powerful there, because I have so many forms for so many different year levels and so many years now that I would love to see some organisational happening there in forms. So jump onto the user voice forums on Microsoft and let's get our voice be heard so we can start making those things happen for us.
Great, Peter. I'll share the link to user voice in the chat.
Excellent. So this one is a little quote I found on the internet, and it was like, you know, FAIR isn't giving everyone the same test like standardized testing. FAIR is about getting everyone what they need in order to be successful. And if we switch the words FAIR there with assessment, you know, why do we assess? And it's to make sure that all of our kids are successful. We can see the kids that need help, and we can see the kids that need extension, and it doesn't matter where they are on that journey, but we can go and help and assess them and, you know, help them through this time. So let's go and have a look at Forms and PowerPoint. And this is one that I wasn't too aware of myself, so I've had to do a little bit of digging. So let me show you what I found out.
So here I am in PowerPoint, and what I want to do is insert a form into my PowerPoint to get some feedback from the students to see if they've understood the concepts that we've talked about. So I'm going to go insert, and I'm going to first of all make sure I've got a blank slide. Insert and go forms. And again, this is all linked to my forms since I'm signed into all of it. And here is one of the ones that we're doing, be a game changer. So I'll just go and edit that form. Just check, why do you want to be a game changer? What are some key features of pseudocode? And I will put as well, how did you like creating your own arcade game? And I'll say that is done. Now Forms saves automatically, so once it's saved you can just go back to Forms, and going back to my PowerPoint here, be a game changer, and insert that form into my PowerPoint. So now that it is in there, I'm going to go to, so we've been talking about making games on Microsoft Arcade, and we made the first one, Taste the Pizza. So we talked about pseudocode, what is pseudocode and how to do it. And then we also talked about flowcharts and how they work for coders. So here is my form that I wanted the children to sign. Why do you want to be a game changer? Because I want to change the world. And what are some features of pseudocode? So dot point's a summary of what happens, and it's not the real code. And we loved it in grade 5, and then go submit. My response was submitted, so you can go and change your final thing. And inside the PowerPoint, that is it, that is done. So let's go and check out the scores. Here it is, be a game changer, and the responses. And if I refresh the page, let's go and have a look. One response. There you go, I want to change the world. So you can go view results, and you can drop it down by individual student. And as I said, you can get all the bar charts and graphics, etc. that you want to have from there. And I also mentioned that you can also open it up in Excel. So if I was to open that up with all my data, I can get the start time, my email, my name, and the choices I made as well. So that is how you would put it in.
So the next thing with your PowerPoint video is that you can actually put it into that Microsoft Live event, and you can embed it into OneNote.
We haven't got any sound at the moment. I'm not sure if you're speaking.
Is it coming through?
No sound.
Oh, no sound. Okay, I'll just talk it through then. So once I get it all ready, I can just run it like a normal PowerPoint on through the browser, and the students can follow along on their phone or on their computer in whatever language they want to have supported them. And if they're in my organisation, they can definitely go and answer the form through the Present Live option as well. So that's one of the cool features that is available in Forms. And from your PowerPoint, putting it in the PowerPoint browser, and I'll stop that for a minute, you can actually go and embed that code. Just take the embed the URL at the top and put that in your Teams or in your OneNote, and it will embed the PowerPoint rather than actually put the file of the PowerPoint in the browser. So embedding is going to save you oodles of space in your OneNote, and it will make your OneNote run a little bit better and easier. So that is Forms and PowerPoint. So I know lots of us out there love playing Kahoot, and Kahoot is amazing and our kids just love it. But if you're just going to play the Kahoot just for Kahoot's sake, then it is trivia. But even in Kahoot, there's actually you can deep dive into the results and pull that data out of there and use it authentically in your classroom. How are we going for questions? I can see some coming through. We're all good?
We're all good, yeah.
Excellent. All right, the last one is forms and stream. So let's go and have a look. Shout out if the sound doesn't come through.
No sound here.
Sorry, no sound?
No sound.
Okay, let me try and do that again then. Otherwise, I will just simply talk it through.
And
right.
4 minutes to go.
Okay, this is nice and quick. I might speed it up. So yeah, what I do is I make my forms, same way I make all my other forms. And then once I have that there in my stream video, which is right at the end, and we love stream in our, I might go to the next page, sorry. I can go to my stream video, and inside my stream video, I'll just have to talk it through. I can go and add the form in the timeline as to where I want it in my form. And it's just really, really helpful to have those interactive elements, and that way the kid can't just say they watched it. They watched a little bit of the form, they have to watch the whole form and the whole video and answer all the questions throughout to actually make sure I know that they are learning. One of my big passions in teaching and why I got into teaching is because I love that moment when the kids go, now I get it. I love seeing that light bulb moment come on for our students. So if we can make sure that we're using our tools to authentically evaluate our kids, and are they getting that proof of learning? But more importantly, do they now value that learning? That's what it's all about. So Microsoft are all about empowering our students to achieve more, and that's what we can do with Forms and all these products as well today. The last little thing is jump onto the Microsoft Education Centre. There is a course on there called Creating Authentic Assessment, and you can complete that and earn a badge and earn some points as well. And don't forget, everything today has been recorded. My name is Peter and I'm from the Gold Coast. So I hope you all enjoyed this session. Have there been any questions? Any more questions?
No, I think that's great. I'll hang around for a few minutes and we can answer them. But otherwise, thank you very much.
Great, yay.
Let me just, I'll just put the link up to the YouTube channel where these videos will be next week. Thanks everybody for attending, and maybe see you in another event later today.